if anybody was to want to leave, I'm quite sure they'll call us. We will sit and look at the pros and cons and maybe give such a one an exit. But as it is now, this is why, you know, these are wishful thinkers, that OKA will collapse or OKA will support A and B, because they know that OKA is coming out so strongly as the alternative, the real alternative. Well, I can tell you, we have no difficulty in OKA as yet. I'm sure we're going to agree.
We have no difficulty in OKA as yet. That was towards the end of December 2021. And then last week, the leaders appeared at a hotel in Nakuru County, and this is what they said. Okay, all right, we'll get that shortly. They were speaking about that press conference after the technical committee where they spoke about naming a presidential candidate and saying that it was going to be at a prime place in Nairobi. Listen.
I do not think Brother Musalia is the type of person who would be wooed at night and not say it during the day. He says it as it is. So stop this wooing business.
It is work in progress, and it's working. And very soon we will be unveiling our presidential candidate.
As OKA will not unveil our candidate at this hotel. It will be a much bigger event in a much better chosen environment within the city of Nairobi.
Before I get to you, Honorable Kenan, Honorable Mbui, why did your party leader believe so much in what was being said and never sensed anything that was not consistent with what was being said in those particular meetings?
Probably because you know, we have been in a relationship under NASA that collapsed out of mistrust and political conmanship, as some people would like to put it. So I think he didn't believe that any of those people who have suffered the mistrust and those problems that come out of you know, bad relation within a coalition. He didn't believe that any of his partners would do that. But we had been given these indications from a long time ago, and media had already picked it. It was all over social media. But we didn't want to believe that any of our friends would be able to let us down in the way they did. Now, if you listen to them, their own statements were that OKA will hold together. I mean, that was party leader of Ford Kenya saying that we will unveil our presidential candidate in a place later in Nairobi in a bigger function. I didn't know that the OKA presidential candidate was going to be Ruto. But having said that,
you think that was the event yesterday?
I think that was the event they may have been talking about, because after yesterday, what would be the possibility of getting together to unveil a presidential candidate under One Kenya Alliance? But let me say this. Chris Wamalwa here is a member of the technical committee. They actually did settle on my party leader to be the flag bearer, and that has been in public domain. And it was even run in some of the media houses.
You give me the right to respond to that.
Who has to be the running mate?
And the proposal, number one running mate, was to be Musalia Mudavadi. So I think it is also possible that when that scenario was unveiled, it became untenable maybe for Musalia to accept that arrangement. And that is why you had Malala speak in Western and say, you know, a small river and a big river. Those narratives are because, and he even said, Wamesema, that Kalonzo becomes the candidate. So I think also that the real problem was that even under One Kenya Alliance, my party leader was always the strongest candidate with the biggest party in that coalition. And I think maybe Musalia was uncomfortable. Because immediately
when you say the biggest
technical
party,
team,
what do you mean? What are you looking at?
Wiper is of course a bigger party. You know, we are the third largest party in Kenya.
So I'm asking, is it at the number of elected legislators or membership?
Yes, number of elected leaders.
Okay.
That is even in parliament, that is how the political parties are calculated. In fact, there are only 3 political parties in parliament registered and under the standing orders, and Wiper is a third party. So I think clearly we had, and then we are also cohesive. Wiper is the one party where all our members are still intact, all our members still support the agenda of the party, and all our members vote in the manner in which the party leader indicates. So we are a very cohesive and strong team. And I think probably they may have been a bit uncomfortable. But I like what my party leader has said, that if anyone is being wooed, obviously they will tell us. So I don't think he believed that mistrust was there. We had meetings and we said there is a possibility some of these people might jump ship. But he was very convinced that he didn't see that he didn't see any possibility of any betrayal from any of those
That's
members.
what I'm asking. For an experienced politician in Kenya, people are able to checkmate each other, see where the trends are moving towards. Why wasn't he able to see this, or is it just his?
I think my party leader is a trusting person. He trusted them. He trusted that. He trusted. And I've had Wetangula talk about doublespeak. I mean, and when you listen to what he has just said and what he said yesterday, in a span of a week, and then who really is the master of doublespeak? Because on one hand, you're saying we are unveiling a candidate, we are in agreement, we are working together. On the other hand, you stand and say we are not here by mistake with Ruto. And that's our biggest opponent. So I think there is a big problem here, and I think my party leader trusts a lot. He trusts a lot, and that is my opinion. I think that's where the problem is.
And so now, with all this, what is happening, I know last week you were supposed to sign a deed of assignment for the partner political parties. I know that happened. But what next for One Kenya Alliance first? And Wiper, where are you headed?
I will say this, for me, we've seen some of our friends have left us. And we are not alone because we still have KANU with us. And I believe that we will soldier on and we'll probably get other like-minded partners. But this issue of political betrayal is really an unfortunate situation. Sorry?
Would that be Azimio la Umoja?
Let me put it this way. We have always said that our doors are open and we will talk to other people. We have always said that.
Including the earthquake.
In fact, I will say this. The only reason, and this is for the record, the only reason why it was untenable to probably work with UDA is because they were very clear that they are not going into any coalitions. So I didn't know when they had a change of heart. They never told anyone. Suddenly, in the middle of the night,
is that still an option then?
Right now, because of the way they have carried out this arrangement and tried to create an earthquake that was a small tremor, I think because of that, we would find it difficult to trust them.
So that's what I'm asking, because it appears that there are 2 major formations now, because One Kenya has been thinned by the events of yesterday. So are you saying that there is possibility to work with Azimio la Umoja? There's always a possibility to work with like-minded partners. It is possible. I'm not speaking officially as a party member. I'm speaking from my own conviction that it is possible to work together with other partners. Right.
But clearly, what we wanted is now destroyed by the fact that these brothers of ours betrayed us, because we wanted to create a third force that was going to take all those people that are disgruntled by the 2 toxic political groupings. And now suddenly they've just joined one of the toxic groups. So now we are left on our own. Actually, I can tell you we are really fairly exposed, and I think we will soldier on and figure out a way as we go forward. But it is possible that we'll get into a coalition with other parties.
Might you be forced to join all of the toxic?
I'm the next.
No, you're not. It's Dr. Kenan here.
I mean, let's also reduce. Let's not also reduce the debate to the relationship amongst the OKA members. Let's
sure. And
I think
Dr. Kenan,
3 things out of the discussion. 3 things are now a reality. Politics is out of the possible. That is the latest modern day definition. And that's what my friend here, Dr. Chris, is the art of the possible. 2, in politics, there's always permanent interest. I think that's the second thing that's also imagined with this. And 3, that the political parties amendment bill is now the savior for everybody. The savior. Chris has admitted. My friend Kositani is a bit wobbling, and I'm sure that he has changed his position. The deputy minority leader also alludes to the same. Because we need, if you have had this law that will have been the political parties amendment bill in place, even these issues that have happened in OKA will not have happened. Because from the beginning, you will have anchored your regulations, your modus operandi on a law that will be predictable, on a law that will be consistent, on a law that will be watertight, and that is what is missing, and that is what has been missing. And that's why when you talk of the politics of betrayal, the issue of just trust of, a word of mouth is no longer applicable. That is why countries have constitution. That's why we have the rule of law. And therefore, let's all agree that whatever, concerns we have had about this particular amendment is now gone, and everybody agrees. And I'm sure our friends in UD are regretting why they opposed it in the National Assembly. Having said this, let's be also very realistic. The moment this bill is assented to by His Excellency the President, and I pray that because of the change of heart now on what has happened in certain political groups, the Senate will pass this unanimously. And I want to correct my friend, what we have in Parliament is a parliamentary parties. We have so many parties actually. By our standing orders, we have parliamentary parties, we have also political parties. For one to qualify as a parliamentary party, you must have meet a certain threshold. That is why key parties like WIPA, I'm sure UDA is not a political party. You know that it's not a parliamentary party. You know that WIPA, KANU, Fort Kenya. These are the current Jubilee. These are ODM are the current parliamentary parties. So for us now as a country, what do we need? We need civility in our politics. We need consistency and predictability in our political utterances, in our policies and everything they do, because whatever we are doing is meant for the good of the people of Kenya, theoretically, for the good of the people of Kenya. It might be laden with personal interest. That is why we in Azimio and we in Jubilee, the really grand coalition that you will see and the face is once this bill is passed, assented to, operationalized, civil servants or public servants resign, and you see the correct position of many people, and I am sure, God willing, inshallah, say this, the next president, the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya will be the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And I want to invite, we already have a coalition agreement as Jubilee with KANU. We already have a working agreement with WIPA. My friends, because of what has happened, it's not too late. And I'm sure you have 2 seasoned politicians. Your natural home is Azimio. Your natural home is Jubilee. That is where your friends are. That is where you'll never be betrayed. Just a minute. That is where you'll never be betrayed. And please, look at this. And that's why we have always said, in fact, now that we have a working arrangement, you see even the way it is shaping is because the like-minded have remained together. So it's not too late. I'm sure His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka is one very dynamic leader. Gideon Moi is a very transformative leader. I know Kositani might not agree with this. But taking into account the circumstances, the natural home is Azimio. We build that grand coalition based, let me finish this, based on this coalition, this new law. That is where there will be no betrayal. That is where there will be consistency. That is where you will get your portion in accordance with what you deposit with
Dr.
the
Kenan,
register of
just
political
allow me
parties.
to
And that is why we need this.
You still got the mic. I'm not taking it away from you. So even if they are to join you, what are you offering? Because even as the ANC and Fort Kenya move towards UDA, there are those questions. What are you getting? So if WIPA comes to Azimio la Umoja, what are they getting?
There's enough for everybody.
Which is?
I don't want there's enough for everybody. We have so many positions, there's enough for everybody.
Which
I'm sure there'll be a key position for Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. I'm sure there'll be a key position for Honorable His Excellency Gideon Moi. I'm sure there'll be a key position for Raila Amolo Odinga. I'm sure there'll be a very key position for Honorable Adan Kainan. I'm sure there'll be a key position for Allah.
Honorable Kainan,
what we are trying to say is this.
Gideon Moi and Kalonzo Musyoka want to be president.
What I'm trying to say is this. We'll only have one president. We'll only have one person.
So what are you offering?
In the whole country.
For the whole country.
So what would
these
you
things
offer
will be discussed. And remember, outside our politics, there's a national interest. And this is not going to be the last election, the last general election. There will always be another opportunity for other people. There will always be another time. There will always be another general election. Kenya will always be a country. So the issue I'm raising is this. There's a moral issue. Our friends were betrayed yesterday. There was no tremor, my friend. I want you to remove that. Look at the Google, the definition of a tremor. There was no tremor at all. At all, at all. There was no earthquake. There was no epicenter. What we saw was just a true reflection of the unpredictability of certain individuals that we have always known. And that has come to pass. Okay. What you need to do right now is, I think if I were Honorable Kalonzo and Honorable Gideon Moi, we will recollect, regroup, okay, and start proper negotiations with the Azimio team led by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga, and there'll be space enough for everybody, and that is the Kenya that we want. Remember, the essence of the handshake
Dr. Ken, I thought Azimio la Umoja is led by Raila Odinga.
As President Uhuru Kenyatta is not a presidential candidate. Azimio is led by Raila. But Azimio has parties, including Jubilee, which is led by His Excellency. And these parties, let me not speculate. Once this bill is passed, you will see the true composition of the Azimio coalition. And that's why this particular bill is key. But what I'm trying to say is this.
All right, Dr.
Even the bill is pushed by individuals.
Yes.
We have a country. And that's why I don't agree. If, and my friend Kositani here should also accept, even in your own home, in your marriage, you have a written rule. Mulenda kwa the AG. If you didn't go to the AG, mulenda kwa traditional leader in the Kale community. If you didn't go, you went to your church. Kwa nini mjasema kuja tu tukae pamoja kama bwana na bibi? In every relationship, there must be some formal agreement. In the Quran, we have nikah. Listen, that's why we have the Qadi's court. But equally, you can also sit and say, tumekuja pamoja kwa sababu tunaamini. This is why my friend here, the word of mouth, yes, we are human beings. But there must be something that conforms and can contextualize that trust that you have in that particular email. You know, in my community, and I'm sure you have so many friends, Kositani, the word of mouth is the key thing actually in even business transaction. But still, people still go to lawyers, people still go to qadis, people still go to sheikhs. This is why this law is very important. And finally, on this particular point,
all right,
on this particular point, we have a country. Let us not mislead the voters. The voters are looking at us. In fact, in the next few months, the voters will be making a key decision on 3 things. On your pronouncement, and you know we'll have so many Facebook leaders. I'm sure you know it. We'll have so many Facebook leaders. We'll have so many Twitter leaders. That will not translate into votes. The actual vote actually will come. I remember a person from one of the regions in 2013 wanted a key position. The guy had a Twitter followers of, I think, 4 million. Is it 4 million? No, 1.8 million. And he thought that will translate into votes. So the guy went for a public position. Surprisingly, he got 13,000. It's a key position. And then he was asked at the end of the election, what happened? He said, these are just joyriders. Let's not be misled by this.
Is there any chance that that person is working with you under Azimio la Umoja?
The true position of this, no, I say it from Western. Let me qualify, I know where you're taking it to. The true position is this. Kenyans are making decisions, they're judging, they're collecting information based on your pronouncement, based on your utterances, based on your prediction, based on your policy. And all this is what is going to form how they are going to vote. And Kenyans are now enlightened. They're not like before. Let's not balkanize them. Let's not push them in the region. Not push them. The reality is, what you say today will be part of your record.
All right, Dr. Kenan, I hear you. Let's spread it to Dr. Chris Omalo here. And there's that issue of the broken promises of One Kenya Alliance. I'm just wondering, why would your party leader, that is Moses Wetangula, stand on a podium and say that we are going to announce our One Kenya Alliance presidential candidate at an event in Nairobi at a bigger place than this hotel that we are in here, knowing so well that there are talks going on and that One Kenya Alliance candidate will never be, then talk about politics of deceit?
In politics, is about interests. One day in politics is long enough to make a decision. You need to know that. My party leader said this about a week ago. And what Honorable Mbui said, it was very wrong. I don't sit in the technical team of OKA. I sit in the management team of OKA. So the technical team, whatever they do, they are supposed to forward to us. As the management team, we look into what they have come in with and do some amendments, if so. Then afterwards, we send it to the principals, and the principals are the one to announce who is the flag bearer. So it's not true that Kalonzo Musyoka was named the flag bearer of OKA. That is wrong information.
What was the technical report?
I think it was leaked by one of their technical representatives in that committee, which was distorted completely. As far as I'm concerned, as far as OKA is concerned, we had not reached that level. We were waiting for the report from the technical team, which we had put in place. It comes to the management committee meeting, which I sit in. We look into it, fine-tune it, then from there, it goes to the
So in that meeting in Naivasha, was there a report or not?
To me, there was no report. There was no report. It is actually the representatives of the of the wiper who might have leaked out something skewed or distorted. I'm not aware of any report. As I've told you the structure, we had put a technical team in place. From the technical team, as a matter of fact, we had called off even the Naivasha meeting that let them continue working with the work in progress. Then it will be reported to us who are in the management team. Then from the management team, it goes to the principals. So I want to clarify here and say there was no report. There was nowhere where they had named Kalonzo Musyoka as the flag bearer of OKA. You people of Citizen, you reported that. You should tell us who was the source of this information, because it was not correct. It was not true. Secondly,
I like that, but Honorable,
and it was clarified.
Just hold on, Honorable Wamalwa. So you say that you called off that meeting, but your party leader attended. Then you say that you said that you would receive the report later out, consider it, and announce it. But you knew too well you're headed towards UDA.
I've just told you that one day in politics is good enough to make decisions. It's long enough. Whatever was said was a week ago. And I'm clarifying and saying the technical team went to Naivasha to fine-tune their work so that their work comes to us in the management team which I was sitting. I'm correct what Mbui said, that I sit in the technical team. I don't sit in the technical team, I sit in the management team. The technical team, in terms of the organogram, they report to the management team. Then management team reports to the principals.
I don't have a problem with that. What I'm asking is...
So what I'm saying is...
You are making these decisions that postpone it until you finalize, bring it to the management team, but you knew too well that management team will not belong to it after... I
belong to management team. I don't belong to the technical team.
But now you don't.
So the technical team was, once they finalize on their work, it comes to us in the management team.
Who are non-existent as of today.
No, at that particular time. You asked me about Naivasha. I'm giving history right now. But now it's been overtaken. Okay. Right now we are talking about the Earthquake Coalition, whereby the Earthquake Coalition...
In simple terms, this is what I'm asking.
Yes.
So you give instructions to the technical committee, go finalize this, you bring it to the management team, we shall make a decision on who the presidential candidate will be for One Kenya Alliance. But you knew too well on 23rd, you're heading to UDA, with or without one day in politics being too long. These are things that you knew. Or did UDA happen after that?
Let me repeat. I started by saying a day in politics is long enough to make that decision. As per 1 week ago, okay, as per more than 1 week ago when it was in Naivasha, we were waiting to get the technical report. And you were told the technical report was not ready. So for Honorable Mbui to come and claim that there was a report which made Kalonzo to be the running mate, I'm saying it is wrong. It was not there. That's what I said.
Okay. I think you need help.
Yeah, secondly, no, I don't need help. I don't need help. I'm clarifying his statement that he's misleading. There's nowhere in One Kenya Alliance we had a report saying that Kalonzo is the flag bearer. Is it clear now? Secondly, as we move forward with the Earthquake Coalition, we are talking to like-minded people. Even Wiper here, who tells you tomorrow they might not join us. And the door is open. The door is open. There's no way we say it in UDA, there's political leprosy. No.
Okay.
And for Honorable Kaina needs to know, when you talk of a political earthquake, it's not the geographical earthquake you're talking about. You need to know that. The political earthquake was there. The epicenter was there. You've seen people trembling all over, including Azimio. You saw the statement. Absolutely. So it does not mean that physical aspect. And as a matter of fact, even in your Wajir, you know, we know when you talk of earthquake, it takes time to travel to far end. It has reached there this afternoon. You're going to see the earthquake. So the earthquake movement is the way to go. It is still, there's some fine-tuning of issues going on. So you will be advised accordingly as we move forward. And this is
Dr. Chris Omano, I thought you used to teach matters business. Now you're going into geology. But anyway, let's listen to, I want us to make transition to a different